Okay, good evening again. Today is Monday, February 26th, and welcome to the voting session for the Ways and Means Committee. First, House Bill 54, and there are amendments. Delegate Attar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Okay, so House Bill 54 allows the transfer of residential property to an heir without payment of the taxes due on the property if the heir is enrolled in a payment plan. And it requires the state tax sale ombudsman to establish a payment plan program for property taxes in which any homeowner may enroll. And it also authorizes counties to establish payment plans for property taxes in arrears. Now, there are amendments, so bear with me because it's going to take a minute. The first one, it adds legatees to the bills. Second, it requires the county tax offices rather than the clerks of the court to provide heirs and legatees with the contact information for the state tax sale ombudsman. Third, it requires heirs and legatees to file an affidavit of their payment plan with the clerk of the court to transfer property without paying the taxes due. Fourth, it allows property subject to a payment plan to be transferred if the buyer agrees to assume the seller's obligations under the payment plan. And fifth, it prohibits a property from being sold at tax sale if the owner is in compliance with the payment plan, but allows a property to go to tax sale if the owner is not in compliance with that plan. And I move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendments? All in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion on the bill is amended. Any discussion on the bill as amended? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? House Bill 54 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 66, Delegate Attar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 66 authorizes local property tax credits for the principal residence of public school employees and apartment or condo buildings that make health or safety improvements or are used to house the homeless. I move the bill.
Any discussion on the bill? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the opposed are Delegate Buckle, Delegate Hornberger, Delegate Miller, Delegate Hartman. And that's it. House Bill 66 passes favorably as amended. It's not amended, it passes favorably. House Bill 204, and there are amendments. Delegate Eversole.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill requires MSD in collaboration with the Maryland Department of Health, each county board, and the Maryland Public Secondary Schools Athletic Association to develop guidelines for public schools to train coaches in recognizing indicators of mental illness and behavioral distress. Similar training is produced by the MHEC and is offered to coaches in institutions of higher learning. We have an amendment. The amendment clarifies that the bill applies to all athletic programs in schools, including intramural, interscholastic, and other school-sponsored athletic programs. Move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendment? Okay, all in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion on the bill is amended.
Move favorable.
Any discussion on the bill is amended? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? House Bill 204 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 208, and there are amendments. Delegate Plavkovich-Carr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As amended, this bill prohibits county public libraries from charging an overdue fine, a replacement fee, or a reserve fee to either minors or for library material that is intended for children or teens. A public library is prohibited from preventing the borrowing of library materials because materials previously borrowed by a minor or intended for a child or teen were due until 21 days have passed after the date of the previous materials were due. If material thought lost that was borrowed by a minor or intended for children and teens is returned before a replacement fee is paid, the fee is canceled. If it is returned within 6 months of when the fee is charged, the fee is refunded. And I just described the amendments and I move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion on the bill is amended. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? House Bill.
I'm either the sponsor of the bill or the subcommittee chair.
Are you a no on the bill? Okay. Delegate Hartman is a no on the bill. House Bill 208 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 336, and there are amendments. Delegate Plavkovich Carr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As amended, this bill requires the state treasurer to develop written informational materials about the Maryland Achieving a Better Life Experience, ABLE, a tax advantage savings program that may be used on behalf of individuals with disabilities, and for the materials to be distributed to families during individualized education program meetings, individualized family service plan meetings, and 504 plan meetings. The amendments just add requirements that the materials be distributed at 504 plan and individualized service plan meetings. Move the amendment.
Any discussion on the amendments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion on the bill is amended. Any discussion on the bill is amended? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? House Bill 336 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 452, and there are amendments. Delegate Feldmark.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 452 requires the State Board of Individual Tax Preparers and the Comptroller's Office to notify one another regarding certain violations by or disciplinary actions against individual tax preparers. Grants the Field Enforcement Bureau with certain powers to enforce the laws pertaining to income tax preparation and prohibits an income tax preparer from willfully preparing, assisting in preparing, or causing the preparation of an income tax return or claim or refund without being properly licensed or registered to provide income tax preparation services in the state. There are two amendments. One requires the State Board of Individual Tax Preparers to allow public input by the tax preparer community before posting the Code of Ethics and Rules of Professional Conduct required by the bill. And two requires the board to notify the comptroller of a violation of the Maryland Individual Tax Preparers Act rather than an alleged violation. Move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion on the bill is amended.
Move favorable.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, House Bill 452 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 454 is amended. We are going to hold the bill. House Bill 615, Delegate Ebersol.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill exempts students, including students who attend another school and are at the school as part of a school-sponsored event, from the crime of disrupting the conduct of the school. Move the bill.
Any discussion on the bill? Okay, we are going to do a roll call on the favorable. Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Ebersol.
Yes.
Delegate Patterson, Delegate Buckle, Delegate Wells, Delegate Hornberger, Delegate Fair,
Yes.
Delegate Long is excused, Delegate Young, Delegate Miller, Delegate Henson, Delegate Roberts, Delegate Grossman, Delegate Wims, Delegate Vogel, Delegate Wu, Delegate Hartman, Delegate Miracle North, Delegate Griffith is excused, Delegate Attar, Delegate Plavkovich Carr, Delegate Feldmark, and the chair votes yes. House Bill 615 passes favorably. House Bill 634, Delegate Ebersol.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill authorizes the governing board of the Maryland Longitudinal Data System Center to send student information to the U.S. Census Bureau. Move the bill.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of the favorable on House Bill 634 signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Delegate Miller is a no. House Bill 634 passes favorably. House Bill 646, Delegate Feldmark.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 646 increases from $5,000 to $7,000 the income tax subtraction modification for qualifying police auxiliaries and reserve volunteers. Move the bill.
Any discussion? All in favor of the favorable on House Bill 646 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? House Bill 646 passes favorably. House Bill 753 has a sponsor problem. Okay, I'm sorry. House Bill 753, Delegate Feldmark.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 753 requires the Maryland Technology Development Corporation to include an option for an applicant to voluntarily provide specified demographic information in its investment application. The bill also requires TEDCO to report certain information related to TEDCO's investments and, if available, provide related de-identified and disaggregated demographic information. Move favorable.
Any discussion on House Bill 753? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? House Bill 753 passes favorably. House Bill 776, Delegate Feldmark.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 776 authorizes the Maryland Technology Development Corporation, subject to a written agreement, to provide administrative support and services to specified business entities and receive compensation for doing so. Move favorable.
Any discussion? All those in favor of House Bill 776 signify by saying aye. Any opposed? House Bill 776 passes favorably. House Bill 120, okay. House Bill 126, 399, 640, and 721 have all been withdrawn. Is there a consent motion on the favorable of the withdrawals?
I move unfavorable as a consent calendar of the withdrawal.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you very much, committee. And that was just the start of our